Hey, it's Liz!
And Dennis.
And today we are going to give you a tour of our Grand Design Momentum 328M fifth wheel toy hauler.
That's right. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna walk you around the outside of our Grand Design. This is actually a 2017 328M double axle toy hauler. It's actually only 35 foot, 11 inches long, 13 and a half feet tall. So we got two awnings on the side. You can see this is the living room slide, which comes out. This is actually on the inside. You'll see later, this is where the couch sits. Front door, being a toy hauler, they give you some cool little features like this nice little spray nozzle whenever you want to hose off your boots or your flip-flops if you're sandy before you go in the house. I actually like that a lot. Right here you have access to your, it's messy, don't judge me, to your pass-through bay on the curb side. So this goes all the way to the other side, and you'll see that later. So we have all of our miscellaneous stuff that we don't really use on the regular, like beach chairs and this and that, and all my tools. This bay here is actually one of two propane bays. So we have two 8-gallon tanks that we can fill up for boondocking and powering our stove, oven, and it'll actually run the refrigerator as well. Moving on around here, this unit actually came solar ready. So what this is, you can pop this little cap here, and this will give you 10 amps if you have the right lawn setup directly to your battery and keep them charged while you're boondocking as well. So that's pretty key. That was another thing that we were really adamant about having when we were choosing our new trailer. Also, this little deal here is a vent for the battery bank, and this will turn on your lights on the front if you're trying to hitch up in the dark. This bay, bam, is the power bay, is what I like to call it. So this is our Onin 5500 RV generator. It gives us 45 amps worth of service while it's running, so we can pretty much run the whole coach off of this thing, and it's pretty quiet. I'm super stoked. It's a 3500 RPM generator, which apparently from people that know what they're talking about that I've talked to is what you want to go with, because they're quieter, they run smoother, so they don't shake your trailer really bad. So that was a nice surprise. This is the other side of the pass-through bay right here. Bam, bam. Oh, and this is nice too. I want to mention this. All of the doors have these magnets that hold them up instead of the gas shocks that'll wear out. I'm kind of into that. So inside this bay, you'll find the manual control for the Lippert leveling jacks. So that just does everything. You can auto level. One cool thing to note about this is it has a deal called automatic hitch height. Super great. You just hit one button, all the jacks except for the front landing jacks come all the way up. It levels the actual tongue of the hitch to the height that it needs to be for the truck to click in. I can hitch up and be out of here in 10 minutes by myself using this little guy here, which is great. Now, what else can you see besides all of our Pandora's box of accessories? In here is the water management system. So all these little knobs here and all these with the diagrams, this is a water diversion system. So something cool to know about this Momentum is stock. It comes with 117 gallons worth of freshwater holding capacity. Since we bought this thing new and had to have it delivered from the factory, we spent it was literally like less than 200 bucks, and they installed an auxiliary freshwater tank that we can fill up, which gives us 40 more gallons, which takes our total freshwater holding capacity up to 157 gallons. Now that pretty much matches our wastewater holding capacity. So each one of the tanks, both the grays and the black, are all 52 gallons worth of holding capacity. And something else interesting in this bay, if you look past the water filter here, you have your pull valves for the black tank and another pull valve back here for the gray tank whenever you do fill up and get ready to dump. That's pretty much it in here. So let's move on. Now, right here, you're going to see our shore power cord, big heavy duty mother, because we have 50 amp service to power the whole coach, and we need it because we have 3 ACs and everything else in there runs on electric. Right next to it, we have our 35,000 BTU gas furnace for those super cold nights, at, 20s and below. We have used that, it's quite nice. This is the exhaust for our Dometic water heater, which will run on propane or electricity. It's actually a 12-gallon capacity, so we could do dishes and both of us take showers and not run out of hot water. And this thing gets hot. It's like, I forget what the BTUs are on it, but it's hotter than you want to stand underneath. I'll tell you that right now. Right here you can see the exhaust for, this is another little custom job we did. We had to drill a hole in the side of the trailer, which was pretty unnerving, to run the exhaust for our combo washer dryer, which you'll see when we open up the garage. Also, something that makes this coach look really nice is they gave us the nice alloy rims. We haven't had any problems out of the Westlake tires. I know a few people have said that they have. We've gone close to 6,000 miles and we haven't had a problem, so ecstatic about that. Also, another good thing to note is both of these axles are rated for 7,000 pounds apiece, so that's key depending on what you're going to put in the garage. This is exciting because this is one of the cool things about having a toy hauler. This little bay here, pow, is actually our fuel bay. So as you can see here, it's a straight up gas tank. We got 40 gallons worth of gasoline storage here, which we had it completely full. That powers the generator up front, and it also allows me to use this little guy here. I can turn a pump on and you can fill up whatever toy you have, which would be the F6B inside the garage. And this is awesome. So if we're way out in BFE, I don't have to try to find a gas station. I can just fill up right here as long as I have gas in the tank. So super excited about that. All right, now this is where the toy hauler aspect really starts to show up. Pop these, this whole back wall is gonna fall down and turn into a ramp. Another cool thing about the toy hauler is, bam, pop this open. We have an outdoor entertainment system. Because what else would you want to do while you're in the woods but watch a movie outside? This actually connects to the Jensen head unit inside and pipes audio through these awesome Rockford Fosgate Marine speakers out here. El Primo. That's it for the outside, except for the garage.
Come on in, take a look at the inside of our RV. One of the specific reasons we chose this rig was because of the interior layout. We wanted something that felt like a home. We're living in this full time, which means our needs and our desires were very different from someone who might be just traveling part-time. So I'm really excited to show you the specific things within the rig that really make it something special and make it a really comfortable place for us to call home. Anytime that you're looking in a smaller size rig, let's say under 36 feet, you're normally going to feel the pinch in the kitchen area. And that was one reason we loved this rig so much, was that it actually didn't take away space from here and made it a very livable area. Since we love to cook, that was really important to us. So the farmhouse sink, which I think is such a nice feature, is huge. We don't have to worry about doing dishes. And there's also a really big space from where the nozzle happens to where the dishes are stored, which you don't really think about in your own home, but in a lot of the RVs that we went in or saw before we bought this one, the sink space was just really small, so washing dishes would be a huge challenge. So we love the sink. It has a microwave convection oven, which does both. It's a convection oven and a microwave. And it also has a gas stove and a gas range. Eventually we want to take this out and make it into a dishwasher, but for right now it really helps when we are dry camping or boondocking and we don't have electricity to run the convection oven. We can still bake or do whatever we need with the oven. So that's really nice that we have both. There's a 3-burner gas range, and it actually comes with a glass cover. It works really well as extra space when we need to prep or cook. You can just close it, and now we have a lot more counter space. And the counter space seems small, but really it's sufficient. There's sometimes we feel tight in our kitchen. People ask us all the time, is it hard to cook on the RV? It depends on the meal. It depends if we're both trying to help with each other, but most of the time it works perfectly. You can see the cabinets are enormous. They're really tall, which allows for a lot of storage. We have 8-foot ceilings in here, so it just feels really wide and open and spacious. And this comes to the best part, the full-size pantry. This is actually what sold us, 100%. We love cooking. It's really important to us. We did it a lot when we lived in our house, and we knew we were going to do this being full-timers, that we would want that space and the storage. I didn't want to give up one of those cabinets to be able to store the pantry, and as you can see, I probably wouldn't have been successful. The fridge, we really enjoy the look of it. It's full size, so it gives us lots of storage space. It's a Dometic fridge, which actually means it can run off of electricity or propane, and it automatically knows when we're hooked up to electricity to run off electricity, or if we unhook, it knows automatically to switch to propane. So overall, I just love the way that they designed this. You can tell they really thought about people living here full time. The decor just felt really modern. It felt new. We toured so many other rigs and they just all felt really outdated. They were those terrible oak cabinets, really just that same oak color throughout everything. So we really liked just the color scheme of this rig. It felt like the right one for us. This is our entertainment center. It is way nicer than anything we ever had when we were renting. But this is actually an electric fireplace. It is not just for looks. It has a function as well. It has a low heat or high heat, and it does a really great job keeping this coach warm. If it's above 50 degrees, we can typically just run with this on high if we have electricity, and it keeps the whole coach warm. We found anything, and it depends on where we're at and really how cold it gets, but typically below 50 we end up having to use the furnace. And we'll supplement with this heater. But it does a great job, and it looks beautiful.
As you can see, the entertainment system actually has the swivel-mounted flat screen. If you take a look back here, this is where we've mounted the Apple TV and the Verizon MiFi Jetpack. So, in this cabinet, we have the Jensen head unit, which powers a surround sound system. All of the Grand Design coaches come with the Jensen head unit standard. Decent. It's got Bluetooth. It's got auxiliary. It's got HDMI ARC. So the Apple TV actually, through the TV, pipes the audio into the surround sound system. This is one of the things that we actually did upgrade. We had to wait for it to be built from the factory, so we upgraded a few things. We put, instead of the standard Jensen speakers, we upgraded to a Rockford Fosgate system that actually even gave us a 12-inch subwoofer. Sweet deal. Super cheap. Go for it. Treat yourself. Over on this side of the entertainment system, you actually have the Lippert Components 1 control. This thing actually controls most every light in the coach. It'll actually start and stop our generator. We can monitor the storage, water storage tanks, the fresh and the gray. Does everything with the weather, really. You can control, well, it doesn't do all of the awnings, which is one thing that I'm kind of not super happy about, but hey, you know, can't win them all. It'll control one of the awnings on the main slide, but it won't control the awning over the the garage. Like I said, start and stop the generator. Oh, the automatic leveling system, we can control that from here too. Also, everything that you see on this little panel, it has an app that you can download into your smartphone and control everything that this thing controls from the smartphone. So whenever we pull to a site, bing, 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 I log in, start the generator if we're not going to hook up to shore power. And that way we can run our leveling system straight from the phone without depleting our batteries. It's awesome. That aspect of this thing is freaking great. Would not want to be without it, actually. Other than it not powering all of the awnings, the other thing that I don't necessarily enjoy about this thing is something they could have done better is you have to, when you're messing with the lights, there's no light switches except for in the hallway, the bedroom, the bathroom. But as far as in here, I can't turn on the kitchen counter lights or the living room lights without logging in, hitting lights, scrolling all the way down, and then, oh, there they are. Now I can turn kitchen counter lights on and off from here. But it's like 5 steps when I could just go click and turn some lights on. It's not the end of the world. I know I'm complaining about my touchscreen RV, but when you're touching this thing as many times as we touch this thing coming in and out of the unit, it does slightly get annoying. Anyway,
what the heck are you doing?
I'm sorry. Are we still doing the tour? I was just relaxing. It's tough. It's a tough life on this RV. This is my favorite spot in the whole RV because I can do this. This is my office. This is my relax chair. I'm pretty much here all the time. It has really lovely features of a heated seat. It also has a massage, very nice feature. And all 4 of the sectionals actually have this option to extend back and have the leg rest. The 2 center consoles actually have a lovely armrest, cup holders, and it has 2 USB ports and an actual plug outlet so that you can charge things right here. Normally this is down for us. This is pretty much our dining room table. We're going to show you later a feature that we have, so we can have a dinette, but it just takes a lot of work with our current setup to actually set the dinette up. So this is where we eat. This is where we hang out. This is always down. Let's keep going. We hung pictures and we added this feature, which is like just like a normal door entry key holder. It holds our sunglasses. This is kind of like my office paperwork or anything that I need to mail out. And I really like having this. This was, I think it's a must because you don't really have anything right in the entryway to store all that stuff. So this was our solution for that we bought from Etsy. And you'll see throughout that we have a lot of pictures and artwork, and actually a lot of it is Dennis's artwork, like this. There's a thermostat because we have 3 AC units, one in the garage, one in the kitchen living room area, and then one in the bedroom. It has heat control and AC control, and it can be unset on auto, so once we set it to a specific temperature, if we are on shore power or we're hooked up to 50 or 30 amp service, this will work perfectly. And then we have our vent control system here, so we can actually just keep the vent open so that we get natural airflow, or we can actually have the fan operating. And that really does keep the RV cool if we are boondocking, which means we don't have shore power. Next is the bathroom. A really spacious bathroom. We have a nice deep sink. We also have 2 cabinets for storage within the bathroom, and then we have lower cabinet storage. So there's plenty of space to keep all of our towels, all of our toiletries, things like that. And we also have a full-size shower. It even has a little stool if you'd like to sit within the shower. But as you can see, it is very spacious. We upgraded the stock shower head because it was terrible. We actually got a low flow head that has 4 different settings on it, so we can choose how our water comes out. And it only uses 2 gallons of water per minute, which is a huge savings for water for us. The storage in this unit is amazing. We have more storage than we truly know what to do with, or more space than we know what to do with. But this is where we keep most of our toiletries, and the one challenge with this is getting it so that when you're moving, this is the only cabinet that things tend to shift, I think because they're all small, maybe. I'm not sure what the the real culprit is here. But every time I open this cabinet after we moved, I have to open it super cautiously, and that doesn't really happen with any of the other cabinets. One of the coolest mods we did in the bathroom was our Nature's Head composting toilet. We knew from the get-go that we did not want a standard RV toilet that actually used the black tank. So before ever using the toilet or the bathroom at all on our RV, we installed the Nature's Head composting toilet. And the installation was actually really easy and so worth it. We suggest watching the video that we have on our Nature's Head composting toilet where we talk about how to use it, the benefits and drawbacks of it, and pretty much everything you'd want to know about a composting toilet on RV. Watch the video. But yes, we absolutely love it, and that's the bathroom. All right, let's go into the bedroom. Dennis actually installed door stoppers on both sides of the door because sometimes if you're not quite level, the door will actually just automatically shut, which is really annoying. So we didn't want that to happen, so we actually were able to keep it from closing on us. The one change we made in here was the actual mattress. The mattress that came with the RV was terrible. I mean, we slept on it for like 2 months and we actually had indentations from where we typically slept. So we got rid of that mattress and we upgraded to a lovely memory foam mattress, and we will be doing a video on our upgrade and why we chose that specific mattress. They do have RV specific mattresses. So it's a queen size mattress, and the only drawback to getting the upgraded mattress is that it's much heavier than the one that they had, and that's important because there's a ton of storage underneath the bed. So this is where we keep like a lot of our winter clothes, any extra storage, our duffel bags if we have to travel somewhere. We even have a fireproof safe for any important documents that you might have typically in a home. We still need it on our RV. So this is where we get to keep all of that stuff, and it's out of the way and easy to access. So the closets are a very good size. Please don't judge that mine is stuffed to the absolute brim. Dennis also installed hooks for me so that I was able to keep my jewelry here nice and organized, which I really appreciate. I keep a few shoes down here, but I'll show you where we store the rest of our shoes so that they're out of sight. As you can see, we really can fit a lot in here. Mine's like super stuffed, but that's okay. I also like that there's full-length mirrors because when I get dressed, I like to be able to see my full outfit. In some RVs, you'd have to get a mirror installed or like hanging on the door for that. We also each get 2 drawers. It's lots of storage for your closet. I mentioned keeping some of our shoes in our closet, but it wasn't enough storage space, so we ended up getting this shoe storage compartment that actually hangs on the sides. And because our bed extends over, we don't touch these. They're not in our way by any means, and it keeps our shoes pretty much hidden, and we're able to store all of our shoes. So we love that. And then we each have a his and her side of the bed. I like that there's light switches here for when we're reading. There's also light switches underneath the bed right here so that if we need our own personal light, we have that. But it's a really nice feature for when we're reading. The last thing I guess I would mention is that we each have storage underneath our little side end tables next to our beds, and we also have storage throughout on top. So the storage is just insane. You have plenty of space to keep your stuff. The only thing I would say is if you get a king size bed, that is going to adjust having one nightstand on one side. So keep that in mind. We opted for the queen so that we could both have a nightstand. So there's one more room we haven't shown you yet. This is our garage. But we love that we have the sliding glass door. It makes it really accessible for us. And if we have guests in here, they have their own space that is completely shut off from us. This is really what it looks like when we are on the move. If we are not utilizing the motorcycle, we don't have guests, or we are just about to switch locations. We're going to also show you what it looks like when we have it fully set up and we are not using it as a garage, but more of an extended living space.
All right, now I'm going to show you why they call this thing a toy hauler. All right, come check this out. So this is the garage in travel mode. The cool thing about the toy hauler is right now we have the carpet down, and we actually leave it down most of the time, but underneath you have this rad rubbery garage floor. But the best thing is you have these D-rings bolted to the floor so you can actually strap down whatever it is you're going to put in here, motorcycle or otherwise. One thing to know about this is, depending on the manufacturer, some of them just bolt them to the floor, and some of them actually integrate them into the frame. Grand Design integrates them into the frame, so it's just extra security that this isn't gonna, you're not gonna hit a bump and this isn't gonna pull out, and then next thing you know, your motorcycle's flopping around inside of your garage while you're going down the road. So I'm gonna unstrap this thing real quick, pull it out, and then we'll set up the patio and the dinette for you so you can see what that looks like. That's that. The bike's out. Typically after we do that, especially if we're in a spot as beautiful as the one we're in right now, this is the next cool thing. So now we got the bike out, we just turned the garage door into a patio, man. How cool is that? But you can totally enclose this entire area to give yourself a little more privacy if you want. It's just an extra little perk of having a toy hauler. So this is another perk I want to mention about having a garage in the toy hauler is we don't have to leave our bikes outside. A lot of people just strap them to the back. They just get beat up, man. They're constantly in the weather. So this is just super nice. If we're not using them, they stay in the garage, safe. And if we are using them, it's super easy to pull out, as you just saw. All right, so now we're gonna show you how we set up the dinette in the garage. We actually have a bed topper that'll go on top of this for guests, and then we just stretch a fitted quilt over it, and it's good to go. So this ceiling that you see above me is actually the bottom of a queen size bunk bed that you can get down by just jacking up the beds, pulling some pins, and then lowering them back down again. And the bunk bed will stop where the top of it's right about yay high. We don't use this as a guest bed anymore because it's kind of a pain in the butt to drop. So now we just turn it into storage. All right, and that's it for all the features inside the toy hauler garage. Hope you enjoyed it.